Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Hoosier Park here on Friday. It is the 9th of August 2024. Going to look at the featured 13th race from Hoosier, the big one. But before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and I mean around the world. Join me tomorrow for my Saratoga preview with the Troy is now the feature race tomorrow, and join me Sunday now for my Arlington Million and 4-star Dave Saratoga Derby preview. So some changes this weekend, but I think that they're being proactive in the situation. But we're going to look at the 13th race, which is always one of my favorite races of the year from Hoosier. The 13th race, it is the Dan Patch Stakes. It's field of 10 pacers going the 1 mile trip, going for that $300,000 purse. My top selection here, I'm going to go with the 10 horse Charlie May. We're going to go 10-1-6-3 in the superfecta. 10-1-6-3 super, top selection 10 horse Charlie May. This 6-year-old gelding by McArdle here. Steve Carter trains. Brent Miller is in the sulky. I like that he gets the second here at Hoosier today. I think that's going to really suit him well. Most recently ran last week in the Open at Scioto, 3rd of August there, and he finished third by 2 1/4 lengths. He had a bit of a wide trip that day, but he sat back early. He paced home decently late in 26 flat, 149-4. Not the world's worst race for him. He's definitely been improving with every single race. Refreshing here back to the Midwest against these horses. I think he could get a trip to win. I think he's been, going down in class to get some confidence builder and running some decent miles. He ran 2 back in the Open at Scioto on this 27th of July, and he finished second by 1 1/4 lengths that day. And again, he sat back early. He really paced home decently, 28. Not the fastest final quarter from that day, but as the just over even money favorite, he showed potential that day. Major improvement off the race before, which was the Houghton at the Meadowlands on the 13th of July. He didn't do a lot of pacing that day. He finished 11 by 6 lengths that day. He had a good stalking trip, and it was an all-out finish, but he just couldn't get there. He just couldn't quicken up with the better horses that day. And then the Dave Brower at the Meadowlands on the 29th of June. He finished second by 2 3/4 lengths. He paced home decently, 26-2, 148-1 for the final time that day. Not the world's worst race drawn in the parking lot day with a very wide trip, but refreshing here off some decent numbers. He's run races in the past fast enough to win here. That 147 last year at the Meadowlands could definitely win here. I'll use him at 12-1 as an upsetter. I think the 1 horse El Rey for Yannick Gingras and Andrew Harris can win also. Most recently in the Kentucky Sire Stakes at the Red Mile, 23rd of July, he won by a nose that day, and he sat on the front end. He was kind of yielding late off some quick fractions, but he got the job done, winning by a nose, 149-1, 27 for the final quarter. He showed very good form that day. 2 weeks prior in the Houghton at the Meadowlands, he just didn't do a lot of running. He finished 8th by 5.5 lengths, and he just never really showed up. He just weakened, got shuffled out of it that day. And then at Oak Grove in the Kentucky Sire Stakes, he finished second by a neck. He really paced home decently on the 5/8 mile track in 26-4, 148 flat for the final mile that day. Not the world's worst race for him. He likes the bigger tracks. He's back to it today. He's drawn well, gets Stinger in the sulky. He can win. And even the 6-horse Rock and Roll Aruna for Larry Stallbound, who trains one, and Mark McDonald, who drives this one, is winning last week in the McKee Memorial over the Meadowlands, and winning by a neck in 147-3. That was very impressive that day as the upsetter. He had a very good race in the Invitation the week prior at Yonkers on the half-mile track. And then, his Garrity race, he just got really shuffled out of it. I thought if you watch his race from the second tier at the Meadowlands in the Houghton, he showed potential that day. He just kind of yielded late, but he had a really good trip from where he was drawn. Coming here at 7-2 has run some very fast fraction numbers this season. I'll give him a shot at 7-2 to come back with a quick run, but you're not gonna see anything close to that 68-1 odds that you saw last week. But it's a very good wide open feature here at Hoosier today, so we could go a few ways in the pick 4, and we will. But to recap my selection for the 13th from Hoosier, it's the Dan Patch Stakes. Going to take the 10 horse Charlie May. Give kudos to the 1 horse El Rey and the 6 horse Rock and Roll Runner. 10-1-6-3 super, 10-1-6 in the multi race. So good luck to all. Please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody.